everything going.
They said,
which is
no,
the game.
Please don't. Please let us have this.
Incoming,
we'll take care of it.
outgoing.
And Joe Biden just took the hit.
See
He
how
didn't
long
go
it
on
stutters,
Twitter. He
too.
didn't say stupid shit. He didn't talk with his hands. You know, I mean, he just let the pros do their job.
Thank you.
Took all the shit from the right wingers about how this is just a disaster, this, that, and the other. Turns out the fucking experts knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
right. Well, they do in general know what they're doing. We give them enough fucking money, they better know what the fuck they're doing. It's my take on it. But the thing that it created was this, and we showed the picture of, actually, I think I showed it on my Patreon video over the weekend that I did of it, because I knew it would get out of the news cycle quick. I knew by Monday there'd be someone dancing around in a devil costume and they'd be terrified of demonic symbolism or some shit.
Yeah. Just wait till next weekend or this weekend.
Monday is going to be, let me tell you, I already know we can do our thumbnail Monday right after the halftime show, Gabe, because I know.
Rihanna's performing.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh
They're gonna
my
go
God.
fucking nuts.
That is exactly. I guarantee you, my first words on Monday, as the intro winds down, is going to be about their freak out of the halftime show. They're predictably unpredictable. So that's what's going to happen. But here is what they're doing on the Real America. This is why it was trending earlier. Congressman Troy Nutsack, I believe is his name here. I may be saying it wrong. I don't know. Who is this guy? He's from Texas, Paul, the 22nd district in Texas. He's a member of the Freedom Caucus, of course.
And technically, you had it correct. That's his NEHLS. That is pronounced nutsack. So
okay, good. Okay, I'm just making sure I had it right. You know, I can't read that well. I'm a bumpkin, so I can't read that well, and I'm dyslexic a little bit. So I just want to make sure I get these pronunciations correct. Here's what. Congressman Nutsack says. He says, real America won't believe a word Joe Biden says tonight. Now, what he's saying, again, I said it in the first 30 minutes. They mean white America. When they say real America, this is a new branding of America First. Like Jim Jordan used to post this shit a lot over the last couple of years, but they've started to catch on
Instagram,
that they need to rebrand the America First because we really drug it in the fucking dirt to them. I mean, it didn't work for the 2022 midterm. It really fucked them over. There was no red wave on the back of this America First. And with Kanye West and Nick Fuentes going on right wing after right wing show under the America First Nick Fuentes banner going, we love Hitler. They were like, ooh, that's not going to work. So they're switching gears to real America. We can't let them get away with it.
I want to know what fake America is, though.
If
real America is like, what are we in fake America right now? Like, is this a simulation?
Tony, yeah.
Can I go on like
not
a 30-second
real?
rant
It's
about this?
white.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, here's the real fucking problem here, folks.
Sorry,
it really
it's just
is a
true.
problem.
Not real. It's white.
Tony, Gabe, myself. This is
and
what
it's
we're
white
fucking
cis
fighting
men.
here. Okay, because what Congressman Nutsack says is real. It is really real. You have 50% of our population that does not believe factual data that you put in front of them because they have alternative news sources. And folks, that was their goal. Hitler did this.
Exactly.
I went on a rant and did a
Exactly.
20-minute video
Thank you.
that's never going to see the light of day about the fact that we are parroting 1930s Germany.
Thank you.
This is what they did. This is a key
Thank you, Texas
function
Paul.
for getting fascism
thank
in your
you,
country.
Thank you.
Is to create an entire populace that does not believe what they are told.
And goes without proof on
under
so much
under the brightest
without
lights in
any
our country,
proof
and
other
he's going
than
to tout his,
this master of the word we like said it.
Congressman Nutsack is telling
Thank you.
every Republican out there don't believe it, and they're not going to.
Thank you.
They're not going to. That is a problem. That is crippling to our country. We cannot function as a democracy unless we destroy that. And that is what I do for a living. That is what Tony does for a living. That is what Gabe does for a living. So I'm going to make a selfless,
6,300.
gratuitous
So
plea.
my original 65.
Corporate media.
08
There's a
is
reason
probably
we
gonna
don't
be
give a
way
shit.
below.
Because nobody can pull their fucking advertising from us and fuck us. We're not, because you pay for us. So yes, when we ask you to buy a fucking t-shirt, if you can, every once in a while, buy a t-shirt. Support us, make donation. Tony, and Gabe, make your plea. I'm telling you, this is it. This is really it, folks. This is not us trying to dig into your pocket.
This is the only way we're going to get it done now.
You to your
The
face,
internet has changed it.
the president
And I think
of the
this is
United
the way we're
States
going to
is
change
going
it.
to
Keep
tell
it
you
going.
things in the light of day that everyone in the world is going to fact check.
Yep.
But you cannot believe what he says. You must believe us. The only antidote to that. And I love you folks that are out there in chat. I love you folks that are with us. But it is the folks sitting here behind these microphones, screaming every day the truth out into the void, that are going to change that. That are going to change that. And the Democratic Party, God damn us, did a miserable job fighting back. You know, Tony was talking about Rush Limbaugh. He was exceptional at mind fucking people. I hated that bastard because he was exceptional at taking a poor white guy and telling him, your life is what you
So screwed up because a brown dude over there.
You know, the raw fucking deal you're getting is exactly what you deserve. But if you work a little bit harder, you might make it. But those liberals over there, they're trying to trip you. They're trying to fuck you. As bad as your life is, they're trying to make it worse. And he was a master at it. He was a master at it. It takes people like Tony. It takes people like Gabe and myself and Midas Media and everybody out there screaming at the top of their lungs exactly what is going on to defeat this. And it's the only way to defeat it. Sorry, rant over.
End scene. Sorry. No, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I think, you know, our voices, because Texas Paul, I want to add on to that. We are 3 microphones. We have 3 of them here. And we are 3 ballots here on the screen. That is it. That's all we've got. But we have the microphone that we can speak into to give you the messaging and the narrative, to carry with you, to go out into your democracy and engage in it. And here's the thing. Your thousands of microphones, your tens of thousands of microphones, your hundreds of thousands of ballots, your millions of ballots. And not only are you millions of ballots, but you're millions of microphones into million ears out there, and they have millions of ballots and they have millions of microphones. So it starts in one spot, and it should create this sound. That is how they do it. That is how they always sound so loud, Texas Paul, is because they have all their microphones on high all the time, no matter what. Just like we were just talking about with the Super Bowl, we know their microphones are going to be turned way the fuck up next Monday morning about how, oh my God, I seen a thigh. I seen a thigh. She had her thigh out. Rihanna, what a slut. She had her thigh out. And oh yeah, by the way, she may or might not be.
It's Rihanna. You may see a butthole. I mean, it's Rihanna.
Hey, I told Gabe I want to bring the nipple back. I think we should have another nipple gate. I'm just saying.
To give you an idea, people are already making bets on what the halftime show props will be. Everything from the first song that she's gonna sing, to the color of her outfit, to how her hair is. This is the type of stuff that people are betting on. So you can guarantee that Republicans are watching this like a fucking hawk right now.
Oh yeah.
To know exactly how or what to be prepared for when it comes out, so they can have their sexual anarchy tweet of the year or whatever it might be.
Thankfully, we also had Tide Ultra
And shout out to Rihanna. That girl's got
between stains
freaking
and odor.
balls like you wouldn't believe. I fucking love Rihanna. Gabe, you know, you've been down to Venice Beach, Muscle Beach right there. There's a row of houses that are behind the beach, you know.
Yep.
I mean, that with glass railing, and
Yep.
they're almost all identical. You know which houses I'm talking about,
Yep.
right?
I believe so, yeah.
You've seen them
I've
before.
been walked by them many a times.
So Rihanna goes
I've been down
and
there
does
with
a photo
visiting my
shoot.
uncle.
Butt ass naked photo shoot. Bent over with her butt facing the camera, and the camera's facing the beach, and her butt is like right there facing Venice Beach, man. Forgive me, still got my cold.
So the entirety of the beach
Didn't give a crap, man. I mean, she was like, "Yeah, I got a great ass. Here you go."
So
I mean, she is the boss. She is.
that takes a lot of confidence, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say the
And
same,
yes.
it just like yesterday when we watched Sam Smith, I'm like, it takes a lot of confidence for Sam Smith to get into a yellow singular jumpsuit and go out and dance, right? And not give a flying fuck. And what happens is you have the Republican Party who wants to attack him for it. And I go, if anything, in front of hundreds of people in person and
Isn't that the
millions of
truth?
people who are going to watch this thing, especially Republicans who are like angrily fucking masturbating.
Grrr.
That
Oh,
is
okay,
what
hold
they
on.
do, and that is
Put
what
up
they
here.
get so bent out of shape about. But someone who's willing
Good.
to do that, like Rihanna, just be like, fuck it, this is who I am, and
Hold
I'm
on.
proud of it. Sam Smith being like, this is who I am, and this is the music I make, and you guys, the fans, are those who ask for it, and I'm winning awards here and there. Fuck, man, I don't know if I would have the same confidence to do what they did,
Well, let's get our outrage going, because and you probably heard Texas Paul in the first 30 minutes. Gabe, you probably seen this in the news. Who is going to give the rebuttal for the?
Oh, yes, here we go. Arkansas.
It's
Palin?
Sarah
Sarah
Huckabee. No, Sarah
Huckabee
Palin.
Sanders.
Sarah
Smoky
Palin.
eye, smoky eye.
Smoky eye.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You've heard of Smokey Robinson? She's Smoky Eye. You know?
Yeah, lying to America is exhausting.
Do you think she's gonna wear her fake Uggs when she does it?
I don't know.
At
A lot
the
of people
front,
have been making
doing
fun of some of
the
the
hedging.
outfits she's been wearing as governor. I really don't give a shit
I
about
mean,
what
I-
outfit she wears. I care that she's actually just making a state that is horribly in the hole because of Republicans, making it even more horrible because she's a fucking bigot.
But she
Oh, I
will
love
lie.
it.
She
Oh,
will.
yeah.
Oh, my
Straight
God,
faced,
she-
look right
oh,
in that camera,
hell
just like I'm
yeah.
looking at you right now, and she will tell you the sky is pink outside and just mean it from the bottom of her soul. She is just a flat up liar. That is going to be her response, because there's so many damn things that Biden has done right that he's, like you say, he's going to take that victory lap, and she's going to sit there point by point, and she's going to fucking lie. She
Of
is.
course she is. Well,
Yeah.
here,
Oh, yeah, of
You were
course.
talking about how
There's no ifs,
people are
ands, or buts
betting
about
on,
that.
like what
Of course.
song Rihanna's going to open with and what some of the prompts are going to be. It would be better if America was betting on how many times Sarah Huckabee Sanders was going to say the word woke. Because my guess is that will be
The
a
bigot.
continuing theme. When she's speaking, that is woke this,
Woke,
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 that,
woke,
mother
woke, woke,
workers
woke,
this.
woke.
Well,
woke,
not only
woke,
that,
woke.
but also saying you can't say Latinx, right? Which is like wherever you are in terms of your belief on whether you say Latinx, you say Latine, or you say Latino, Latina. It is
Is this
what
a
it
thing
is.
that she
Here's
has?
my
Is this
problem
a
with
thing
all
that
of her
her first day in, she was
taking
like, you can't
crap
say
and saying you
Latinx.
can't say it.
So it's like
What
the
is
whole
that
thing,
First
you're gonna
Amendment
tell
thing?
She can't say a
You
word?
don't give
Is
a
that what
fuck about the
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Constitution.
wait a
That's
second.
the
You
fucking
saying
problem.
You can't say
And
a
don't
word, is that what
bullshit
she was saying?
your way
That
and
is
say, yeah, I
what
care
she
about.
was
No, you
saying.
don't. You don't give a fuck about the Constitution when you
not
ban
to
shit.
Misquote,
You don't.
but I will. Let me just look it up really quick.
She was trying to out
Simple as that.
DeSantis
Yeah.
is what she was trying
She
to
was
Well, I mean,
banning.
She said
banning
she has
Latinx.
barred the word Latinx in any state communications. You cannot use the word Latinx,
Right.
which is just fucking ridiculous. I mean, just
Is this an offensive word? I honestly I don't
No.
know.
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
know.
I mean, here, what I will say is within the Latino community, there are people that are like, oh, I prefer this, I prefer that. And again, it's total preference, right? And people come from different generations. They say,
So this is like the pronoun kind of issue. Like,
yeah, I mean that's
Yep.
what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. They can't handle that.
Is one of there's Latine, which is another one.
See,
and
they
there's
can't
Latinx.
handle the fact
Latinx
that
is the one
actually
that
almost
seems to be
every
kind
women's
of like
fashion
you're
came
one
from
way
the
or the other.
English
I don't
and
really care
French
personally. It's like, that's what you want to be called.
kings.
That's what you want to be called, and I have no problem with that. I'll probably default
But we don't
to
wanna teach
Latino
that.
because that's what I grew up with. But a lot of people,
this is
a lot
the
of
same
people
thing
find
as
it
I was talking about
offensive
earlier.
on one side versus the other. But it's dumb. It's to ban it all
So
together
stupid.
is dumb. Even if you don't like it, just fuck it. There's no reason to ban something.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'm, you know, and a lot of people will disagree with me on this, especially from our side. But I actually think words are just words, not the context in which those words are used. Like earlier, someone, you know, I think in the comments called me a bumpkin, as if I was gonna like turn to the right. I'm some kind of country like it. Bumpkin doesn't really bother me that much. I don't think the words that offend, and there's really not a lot of words that offend me personally. Like me personally, like there's not a lot that you're gonna say that I'm gonna hear that's gonna offend me. I just don't give a shit about words that much. Now I'm very cognizant that words I say may offend someone else. Sometimes I say it just to offend. I mean,
exactly.
There is
Sometimes
that
the whole point
opportunity
is,
that you
hey,
have
yeah,
when you are
fuck you.
speaking or using
I want to
language.
offend your ass.
So I think the purpose, if she's banning the word, what is it? Latinx? Latinx. Is to offend by banning it, right?
Yeah.
It's to offend people by banning it. And
it's to tell fucking useless people with no power that only live for that dream that they've been told that they're better than us to believe that she somehow made us angry, she somehow owned us, she told us we couldn't have a word, and she's badass. You know, I mean, it's fucking ridiculous is what it is.
Well, I mean, she is ridiculous. And we're going to see that on display tonight. Like, again, we should be taking bets in this country on how many times she will say the word woke. I just wonder how many references to the balloon she'll make. I want to know if she talks about Candy's genitalia. I was not satisfied with the genitalia Candy talk. There was just not enough of it.
I think she's going to bring up drag. Because she's also, if I remember correctly, she's trying to ban drag events in.
Well, I mean, she's trying to take away the civil rights from the LGBTQ community. But it has nothing to do with the drag.
They're going to talk about indoctrination, right? The woke indoctrination. They're going to talk about drag and how it's a sin and how it is totally degrading our social. Morality, you know. I think they're going to talk about all this stuff. They're going to talk about Joe Biden, the economy, they're going to inflation. They probably won't talk about jobs because that was a big 1-2 punch for them. But it's going to be all these dumb issues, these trivial things that do not actually impact your life, but they're going to make it into a big deal, right? They're going to say the candy and the drag shows and the pronouns. I mean, fuck it. If they want to ban pronouns. I say ban pronouns. Ban pronouns and see how easy it is to have a conversation. Fuck it, go for it. I dare you.
Yeah. We ride or die Democrats are having a drinking game. Every time the word woke gets said, you take a shot.
Whoa.
But we're trying to figure out where to cap it so nobody dies.
Thank you. That's the problem. You're going to get,
well,
you don't want people to overdose.
This is a clip that I said I'd show in the first 30 minutes, and it's appropriate to show it here with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, because I'm not saying these folks that are in this clip are from Arkansas, but I'm saying these folks existed and still exist in Arkansas. But Kenny posted this clip, and he said, this is how your grandparents thought about mine. Obviously, Kenny is a black man, and these are white people in this clip. Now, I said this is what sheet eaters mean when they say make America great again, and in my first 30 minutes the idea that I was trying to propose is that this real America is a branding of America First, which is a rebranding of make America great again. And here in this clip is what they mean by this. Probably the thrust of Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
We will not be coerced into hiring any colored person, regardless of his qualifications, as a matter of duress or as a matter of expedience.
And the Negro can prove to the white man that he can live like the white man, then we will accept them.
And the only thing that scares me is the neighborhood all getting bad. And if we ever wanted to sell, naturally your house depreciation is the color get in.
If they move in, the next step we have to accept is intermarriage.
We can be sociable with them and work. We can get along with them and joke with them.
Sure.
But when we leave our job and close the door and then we're on our way home, we want them to go in their direction and we can go in ours.
We want them to go in their direction, and we can go in ours. Texas Paul, there is no better attitude towards race than when I grew up in that sentiment. Is like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, they're here. There's nothing we can do about it. We wish we could, but since we can't, we'll be cordial to them in public. That way, no one can take cell phone videos of us and post it online to know we're racist. But when we leave work, I want them to go their direction across their end of the tracks, and I want to stay on my end of the tracks. And that is exactly what make America great again means.
Yep.
That is exactly
Thank
what
you.
America first means.
Thank
That's
you.
exactly what these fucking scumbag racists,
Thank you.
The Congressman Nutsack from Texas 22, sorry. Texas 22, Congressman Nutsack means when he says real America will not believe anything that Joe Biden says. And the reason why is because they're fucking mind fucked. They're delusional. They believe things that are absolutely not true. Why would they believe the truth? Why, when it's so easy to believe the lies that back up your bias, especially the bias that is in this video?
You asking me?
Well,
I'll frickin' tell you. I'll frickin' tell you. Let me tell you about these bumpkin sons of bitches that live right next to me, man. These fucking trailer trash motherfuckers.
Hey,
I tell you what.
Easy, I resemble that.
No, let me tell you something, man. I don't mind somebody living in a goddamn trailer. That ain't my problem. You know what a trailer trash motherfucker
There is a difference.
Let me tell you, these sons of bitches around here, these meth smoking, no teeth having sons of bitches, just want to sit there and pretend they're better than somebody else because they can do shit like this. They can say shit like this amongst each other. Them blacks just got to be themselves and off to themselves. This and that. Fuck you, man. How about you move the fuck away from me, you poor bastard? Huh? How about you move the fuck away from me, you fucking cheap ass stealing piece of shit? You know, my neighbor had a goddamn feed trough stolen. Fucking meth head was using it for a goddamn swimming pool. I shit you not. I shit you not.
Wait a second. We used a water trough when I was a kid as a swimming pool. What the hell?
Did you steal it?
Thank you. Did you steal the damn thing to go swimming in it? That's a point.
Fuckers will sit here and they will fucking talk about black people. They will talk about Hispanic people being thieves and this, that, and the other. These same welfare using, fucking stealing, thieving, meth using white motherfuckers will sit here and talk about black people in these fucking platitudes that are bullshit. That are just fucking bullshit.
We've talked
you
about
know,
this.
if you
we talked
let me
about
ask
this
you,
before. We talked about this Go ahead.
Is life not better with me and fucking Gabe on the same page?
I mean,
my brother from another mother, is
right.
His life not better? Is life not fucking better? Okay, quit being a fucking coward and get over your fucking bullshit about you got to be told that you're better than somebody else because it's the only goddamn thing in your life that you have that's decent. And that's your fucking fault, you know? That is your fucking fault. You don't ask anything of these fucking people in Texas. You don't ask them to do a decent job. You don't ask them for basic health care. You don't ask them for a goddamn thing. You sit there and suck that Republican dick all goddamn day. And then the only thing you've got left in your life is being fucking told that you're better than a black man or a Hispanic man or anything like that. How about you build your own fucking life like I did?
God damn.
Thank you, Paul.
The chat is lighting up. They love when
Thank
Texas
you.
we pull up the
Thank
cussing
you.
pond here on the Tony Michaels podcast. And he goes to town.
This was just
we
a
talked about
test.
this before, Texas.
Thank you.
Where when white people grow up in white communities with no people of color, no people of the BIPOC community, right? And when they grow up, see what happens is there's classism that happens. It's not exactly racism, but it's classism. And it happens in every community, not just white communities. But what happens is it starts to be, well, we don't have people of color here in our community, but we got those people, right?
Exactly.
And those people are the ones who are like, well, I might be the lowest of the low in this community, but at least I'm not black. That, well, that's another derogatory term. But that is how they feel. And that is exactly the attitude that you're talking about, is white people in white communities, especially the ones who are the outcast of those communities, the ones that live on the other side of the town, the ones that, hey, I'll go to work with them, but when we leave work, I want those white people to go where they go, and I want my white people to go where they go. It happens. It's classism. And it's the closest thing to racism that an all-white community has. And that is the reason why racism breeds in. And that is the reason why this Make America Great Again, this America First, this real American Nazi bullshit has spread across our country and planted itself in the minds of the people in the white communities who aren't the highest in the community. And that is the thing that we have to uncouple. And I believe that a lot of these folks that we're talking about, they don't know it. They have no clue. But if they would just pluck their head out of their ass for 5 seconds and realize that they're voting against their interest, because when the higher ups, when the donor class, when the class in power of white people and white men especially want to tell you, you have to keep those people of color down, because if you don't, you're going to be the same as them. You're not right now, but you're going to be the same as them if you don't keep them down. That way they can maintain their power. You're on mute. You're on mute. Don't mute, because the chat's gonna.
Sorry about that. No, what they tell them is that they're going to get free shit from the government, and you're going to get nothing.
Right.
You're going to have to work
all
hard,
those people
pay your
get all that
taxes,
free shit.
and they're going to get
I
by
don't get
for free.
shit.
Let me tell you something. We just had a winter storm here in Texas. A winter storm here in Texas.
How did Abbott treat you guys?
30 degrees, just below freezing, maybe 29 at the most, and we had rain. So, you know what happens to water? It makes fucking ice, right? Shut the whole fucking state down.
Yep.
Shut the whole fucking state down.
Again.
For so long, grocery stores were having to throw their fucking meat in dumpsters, and my fellow Texans were having to fucking dumpster dive for food.
All while
And
Greg Abbott's down at the border building some stupid fucking wall.
Half those motherfuckers jumping in that dumpster voted for Greg Abbott. Half of them, and they will vote for him fucking again because of this goddamn bullshit narrative that no matter how low you are, at least you're better than this person over here that I can point at.
Yep.
Works every fucking time on these dipshits. Works every fucking time.
Whataboutism and QAnon is a hell of a drug. You talk about whataboutism and narratives and disgusting narratives. This is one of the most despicable clips so far that I have seen of people talking about the State of the Union. I called him the bow tie buffoon. He might be the bow tie bandit formerly, because he doesn't wear bow ties anymore.
Not anymore. Not after Crossfire getting humiliated by Jon Stewart.
Right. He doesn't put on the bow tie because he doesn't want to look too much like a rube. He just sort of want to look like a rube. But
I don't think he understands where the bow tie came from. So.
Stochastic terrorism. Let's take a look.
The Biden administration is so committed to democracy that they're building a huge wall around the Capitol. What was formerly called the People's House is now just their house. Anyone who's not from there can get away and stop asking about what goes on inside. You're seeing pictures on your screen right now. You're no longer
that kind of a laugh. There was a time when it was actually considered
so
insanity.
They're putting up a fence around the Capitol because the president, the vice president,
I'm sorry,
court justices, the entire
would go.
Besides one member of the
a little
cabinet
strange
be in that building, and because of the former president inciting violence and trying to, I don't know, overthrow our government, tear up our constitution, and attempted a Cheeto dust kangaroo coup, they're just being, I don't know how the word that you put it is, cautious. And again, if you look at this is a temporary fence. He's acting as if they're going to build this permanently where no one will ever go in the Capitol. But watch what he says at the very end. This fucking scumbag.
Ooh, it can make you hostile if you think about it. It's behind those walls that Biden's going to read the State of the Union tomorrow, and you need to stay far, far away because it's not your country anymore. A small group of people.
Who is this you speak of?
There it
Who is this you speak of?
Who it would be a bad
Who is
thing
this you
if you
speak
went
of,
and
you
you
piece
tore
of
down
shit?
that fence. It would be a horrible thing. Because what does Tucker Carlson give a shit? And this is this clip was posted on
The rich
Twitter,
little
Cody
shithead
Fox
that
News.
he
You should go
is.
follow her. She watches Tucker Carlson, so you don't have to. Give her a little promotion there because I commend her for the service that she does by watching Tucker, so we don't have to. But here's the thing: is that Tucker Carlson here? What he's saying is, hey, I'm pointing out that they don't want you in the building, so go be in the building if you can. Now, it probably won't work. And the reason why it probably
won't work
is because there's hundreds of people already sentenced, over 1,000 people that have been charged and going to be charged with the insurrection on January 6th. But Tucker Carlson doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care if a bunch of his supporters go. He would love for a bunch of his supporters to go and be turned away at the fence, or someone to be arrested at the fence because, oh, I can't get in my building. Look, this is standard procedure with any fucking president. I don't care who you are, what party you're in, when you were elected. Since John F. Kennedy got his fucking brains blown out in Dallas, they have made it, I don't know, kind of a thing with the President of the United States to protect him or her, eventually her, which it should be more women, actually all
should have been
right?
already. We wouldn't be in half
Protect
this
them
mess.
at all cost. And the cost may be that for, I don't know, a couple hours, you can't walk into the Capitol building just willy-nilly. And that not be a thing. Listen to me when I tell you this. Tucker Carlson is trying to convince these people, just like he convinced DePepe that Nancy Pelosi is a demon and she needs to be stopped. And he went and tried to kill Paul Pelosi and hoping Nancy Pelosi was there so he can murder her with a hammer. It's the same thing that he's trying to do to convince them that they're building a permanent fence, even though it obviously is not a permanent fence, and that fence will come down. That barrier will come down after this speech. Texas Paul, you look like you want to say something.
No, I was actually just sitting there thinking about what Gabe was thinking about this, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah. So what I was gonna say is I forget the movie. I think it's Olympus Has Fallen, right? That's the one with Gerard Butler and I think Aaron Eckhart. Anyway, the premise is, right, that if you're going to eliminate, certain people, because if people don't know this, right, let's look at the State of the Union. You have every single person of power and the full cabinet, the president, the next in line. Basically, if you eliminate certain people, then you just run down the ladder of who would be in charge, right? And it made me think of this movie Olympus Has Fallen, this like little action movie. But it's the same premise, and we've seen it in plot points in other movies as well, which is like you go in, you take out certain cabinet members, you take out certain, the president, the vice president, then you start running down the list of who you want to be in charge, right? Of who you want to be the president, the interim president. But this type of idea that Tucker Carlson wants to say, oh, well, they're attacking you. They're coming after you. You're the enemy of the state. And it's like, well, yeah, no fucking shit, because all of these MAGA idiots decided to storm the Capitol. As Andrew Clyde says, it was a normal tourist visit when it really wasn't. Meanwhile, the guy's scared against the wall, trying to put a desk up against the door so that they don't get bombarded in. But Tucker Carlson wants to push this idea that it's the government, it's Joe Biden, it's the Democrats, it's the left. They're coming to get you. They're going to get your guns. They're going to take your M&Ms, all this bullshit, whatever. They're going to change these genders. They're going to force you to use pronouns. They're going to make you woke. They're going to come in and steal everything that makes you American away from you. And that's not at all the case. And the reason, it's like when you go to a business. Like one time I was in Iceland, okay? And I went to the bathroom at this stop that when we were driving around. And there was a sign in the bathroom that said, "Do not do this." And it was literally an illustration of a person trying to shit by standing on the toilet and squatting, okay? Which means
like a double decker?
No, not like you put it like you literally stand on the toilet seat and you shit from above. Okay?
Oh, I see. So instead of sitting, you're
sitting like a normal person, you hover. Okay. And
in most of the countries most of the world, there's no such thing as a toilet. There's a hole in the ground. There's a guy with a hose,
Right.
and they don't want people to emulate that and stand on the hole in the ground.
Right. But the reason, but the reason that you see a lot of when you go into a place and they're like, please don't do this, it means that somebody did that and they had to. Oh, fuck! Now we got to make a rule because somebody did this thing, and we have to make sure that nobody else thinks they can do this thing for whatever reason. So wherever you go and you see a rule or a policy in place that says, do not do this, do not touch, do not play, do not whatever, it's because somebody most likely did something previously. And this right now, by putting up a fence and protecting people who are literally the people in power of this country, and Tucker Carlson complaining and whining and bitching and moaning about it and trying to say it's the left pushing away the right and saying that you're the enemy, it's because a certain group. It's because a certain group did it. The reason we have a rule or we have a policy around it, probably from now until the end of time, is because Republicans were the ones who decided to have a tantrum and storm into the Capitol and kill people and smear their shit on the walls. So it's like, yeah, you lost all privileges of being able to just let in.
And if you think about what he's saying there, he's keeping them separated from the goodness that is happening under Joe Biden. He's keeping them separated. Those jobs numbers aren't Democratic jobs.
Right.
Those are everybody's jobs.
Right.
He is setting them up so that they feel separate from all the good things that are going to be talked about tonight, and that they are the victim and violated. And the reason that their poor life is so miserable is because all the people in that building, which did all that great shit for them, they don't feel like they did it for them. They feel like they're being victimized by them.
Right.
That is his whole speech.
Yep.
The chat. I'm pulling this clip up because I want to show it, and I had a good transition, but I'm thinking of another one here. But the chat is like, they can tell this is fucking Lauren Boebert. They can tell it. Just and you can't see her face. All you can see is hair, a hand, and she's like, "Arr!" Right?
I was thinking, when did Ozzy get glasses?
Right. So
about to bite the head off a bat right here.
Right. Well, she damn near does that in this clip. So my transition, I'll give you both transitions to see which one you like the best. You know, I have the best transitions here from segment to segment or clip to clip. But I was going to go with, speaking of a domestic terrorist wanting to get past the fence line to overthrow our government, you know, referring to Tucker Carlson, I was going to shoot to Bobo. But you mentioned standing on a toilet seat, squatting and shitting. There is no better physical representation of that sign, don't do this, than why did we elect Lauren Boebert? So I don't know, maybe that's a good transition. But this clip here is, if Tucker Carlson is wondering why we're like, hey Tucker, you're inciting violence. You're trying to get the president of the United States killed. Here is why we're saying that, Tucker, because it seems coordinated. Here's Lauren Boebert, what seems to be in a church, by the way. If you're listening out there to spot white Christian nationalism, here you go.
God said that he was the provider.
Thank you for playing this one.
That we would be blessed. But I just don't know about this month. And Jesus is right there at the table with you. Sam, what kind of conversation is this?
Is that supposed to be funny? I don't know. I didn't see the joke, but you know, I'm an atheist, so you know, I think all Christianity's kind of funny.
I don't know. I mean, like
it's all kind of funny.
All conservative punchlines are like just like a flat line. Yeah.
It's the sign where you're standing over the seat taking a shit, and you're like, "Don't do this, dummy. Don't make jokes. You suck at it." But let's continue.
Why are you talking like this, and why are you sad? Jesus, don't you know? We're out of money. COVID's hit. They shut everything down. Joe Biden's president.
You know, it's kind of funny because I remember when COVID hit, and I remember when everything shut down. And Texas Paul, it seems like there was another president in charge at that point. It really feels like to me that there was a guy during the pandemic in 2020 who really fucked up the entire economy because he wouldn't listen and he wouldn't do what he was supposed to do for the American people. He only cared about his reelection and and dragging Anthony Fauci to make it all be blamed on him instead of the president of the United States, the leader of our country. It feels like there was a different person in charge. Am I wrong, or was it Joe Biden? Was Joe Biden the president in 2020? I mean, Lauren Boebert seems to think he's not the president now, but he was the president in 2020. Am I catching? I don't know. I just don't smell what she's stepping in here.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Joe Biden didn't take office until 2021, and it goes back to what Gabe and I were talking about earlier. She's culled off a group of people that need to hear a message that they weren't wrong, that they weren't fucking stupid, that they weren't fucking idiots for voting for Lauren Boebert, and she's given them what